Well, welcome, Russell Ferrante, in Jazz Meeting, and I'm very glad that you can make it.
Sure.
Next Thursday, November 15th, you are performing with the Yellow Jackets at Paul Hengelo. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be yeah, that's awesome, of course. I want to ask you, besides the keyboardist, composer, and arranger, who is Russell?
Well, that that's a very good question right now because I just came back from visiting my granddaughter. So
Hey,
I'm also a grandfather, and
congrats.
and that's a very joyous thing to be.
Mhm.
Yes, I have a 1 year and a half old granddaughter. Her name is Grace,
Mhm.
and she's just beautiful.
Okay, so you enjoy and you become, well, maybe also a bit of a child.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
When you play with a child,
Mhm.
you must become a child,
Yes.
and that's really
How
fun.
beautiful is that circle?
Pardon?
How beautiful is that circle? The circle of
Oh,
life.
yeah, that's so true. Yes, you really return to, those feelings of innocence and wonder.
Yeah.
Yes, it's great.
Okay. Well, can you tell me something about the musical adventure? When did it start? When did you fall in love with your instrument?
Oh, wow. Um, well, I would say, well, first I took piano lessons beginning when I was 9 years old, and I was just studying very traditional classical music until was maybe 16 or 17.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was introduced to jazz by one of my school friends. And I would say that's when I really fell in love with music, when I discovered there was a particular recording, actually,
Mhm.
and it was recorded at the Montreux Jazz Festival. It was called Swiss Movement,
Mhm.
and Les McCann and Eddie Harris.
Yeah.
And the music it was jazz, but it was also gospel and blues, and it had a great groove and a joyous feeling,
Yeah.
and it really captivated.
Mhm. So, then the jazz came into your life.
That's correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how important is it for you to have a musical background?
Yeah, well, if you're asking like having music instruction and having studied classical music, it's been incredibly valuable because although people think of jazz as improvisation and making it up in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
in order to do that, you have to have a very strong foundation and understand music fundamentals. You know how to play with a beautiful sound,
Mm-hmm.
how to connect the notes, how to play in time, how to interact, and how to fit your part with the other musicians you're playing with. So um, musical training helps prepare you uh, to do that. Um, and actually, three of us now in Yellow Jackets teach at a university. I teach 2 days a week, all day, teaching young musicians, and it's very challenging. But I really now understand the value of getting a strong foundation in music theory and being able to control your instrument. All very important.
Yes. So, well, you are very lucky because you found your passion at an early age. You didn't have to decide it at your 20s.
Huh, that's that's true. Musicians often feel like music is their calling. You know, like a minister or something would feel like they have a calling. Well, as a musician, I think it's something uh, that you really feel very strongly. I was very passionate about music, and I wanted to learn everything I could about music. I was very compelled to study and to try to understand what everything I could about music.
Yes, and so you are. keyboardist, but also arranger and composer. Can you tell me something about the Star Trek? What means Star
Ah,
Trek?
yes, yes. Well, at one point we had an opportunity to contribute a song to Star Trek 4 movie, and the director asked us to write a piece of music that would give the feeling of San Francisco in 1986 when the ship landed. So we that was a really fun project, and we also had the opportunity to collaborate with Leonard Rosenman, who was the film composer,
Mm-hmm.
and we rearranged one of his pieces and recorded it as well. That went on the soundtrack, and it was um, it was a real joy to work with Leonard Rosenman. He is a historic figure in film composing. They say he's one of the first people to write a score that really got into the psychology of the characters. He tried to depict what they were thinking and what was going on in their minds. He was a very deep guy, and it was a supreme honor to work with him.
Yes. Wow, that's one of the precious moments.
Yes,
Yes. So can you name more precious moments during the musical adventure?
yes, I can. And well, there are many, but actually, I think many of them involve playing in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Um, and two concerts in particular stand out. We got the opportunity to collaborate with the Metropole Orchestra,
Yes.
and we performed at the North Sea Jazz Festival. I think it was maybe in the mid 1990s. I don't remember the exact um, year, maybe around 95, 94, 95.
Yes.
And to hear our music arranged and played by that incredible orchestra was it was a transporting experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of years later, we had a chance to write some more music and perform in Breda with the Metropole.
Yes.
So those two concerts, I think, I will always remember. Very special musical memories.
Okay, thank you. So the Netherlands. Can you name some heroes?
Oh,
Your hero.
many musical and non-musical heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, one of my heroes uh, is uh, the philosopher and writer Thomas Merton, who was he was a Catholic monk, and he wrote many wonderful books. And one of my favorite quotes from Thomas Merton, which I think of all the time, is, "There is no one so wrong as the one who knows all the answers." I think that all the time. So, and and my musical heroes, there are many, but I would say John Coltrane. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean everyone would say Coltrane. Miles Davis,
Yeah.
McCoy Tyner, Bill Evans, Keith Jarrett, um, Elvin Jones. Uh, yeah. Oh, another one of my heroes and people whose music I admire so much is Antonios Carlos Jobim.
Mm-hmm.
I I I
Yes.
love Brazilian music,
Okay.
and 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 one other person, very important. He was an arranger who worked with Jobim and many other musicians. He was from Munich, Germany. Klaus Ogerman, a wonderful writer and arranger, and he's one of my very favorites.
Okay. But you're also a hero for the students, for the new generation, I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that would be a great compliment if that
Mm-hmm.
were true. I try to be a good example, and I try to share with them the things that have really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
I guess that's the most you can do. Yeah.
yeah. So, what do you want to say to this generation of musicians? What kind of
Wow.
message do you have?
Well, I'd like to tell them that music and art is maybe more important now than ever, because music and art bring people together and they inspire people to look at the world in a different way.
Mhm.
And it seems so much of our politics and culture these days is about winning and losing and making money and getting ahead.
Mhm.
And, some of those things are important, but we can't forget about the human spirit and about creativity and what connects us. So I think music is one of those things that can do that, and it's very important.
And I do agree.
Yes, thank you.
And, well, let's talk about the new CD. It's the
Ah,
title. Who came up with that title?
that was I suggested that title, and it's a little bit it's a bit of a play on words. It has a double meaning
Yeah.
because we have Luciana Souza, who is featured, who has a beautiful voice,
Mm.
and we're raising her voice. We're
Yes.
including that in music, but also referring to music making a statement about the world that we live in.
Yes.
And um, so, and oh, there's one other thing. The phrase "raising your voice" sometimes refers to if a parent with their child is a little is trying to reprimand them or scold them, they raise their voice. They Yeah, like it's a little insistent. I'm raising my voice,
Yes.
and so we're trying to do that in our subtle way.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you for
Oh,
being you and sharing and I'm looking forward for the concert next Thursday, November the
thank
5th, at our venue, a big venue in Hengelo Metropole. So
you.
yes, I'm looking forward. So I want to thank you again and wish you love, luck, and happiness, and of course good health. And well, see you.
All right, and I wish you all those very same things too. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you.
See
All
you.
right,
Bye.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.